Mr. Avasthi, I think we also need to focus on, the bigger challenge that faces us even beyond the tariffs. While tariffs have actually rattled the markets quite a bit, but I think the bigger wrecking ball could be what's coming ahead by way of Q4 earnings. We'll start off with the IT pack that starts off with the earnings tomorrow, and then we will go on to understanding what comes forward beyond IT sector as well. TCS kickstarts its earnings tomorrow. First up, what's your overall expectation on the IT sector as a whole on the earnings front? Do you believe because of these tariff-led uncertainties, there will be more question marks with respect to guidance that respective companies can give looking forward to FY26? Will they skip giving guidance this time around, those that are used to? Will there be huge amount of moderation there? What is it that you will be expecting to see from the IT companies, and what's your approach going to be on the IT sector amidst earnings?
See, largely what you can expect across the board in a blanket fashion is that most companies would, give you very subtle kind of hints, or those who were maybe giving you forward projections or guidances, they would be very nervous about what they're saying because, the mood is of very much uncertainty in the US. Though I still doubt that whether it's a long blown recession in the US and the type of things that people are talking about because I'm not expecting these tariff things to blow out of proportion. But you never know. I mean, the way it is turning out, you never know. So I think it will be a bit nervous. So most of the guidance you will receive will be very subtle and maybe very conservative. So maybe some of the forward numbers are cut down a bit or curtailed a bit. Q4 anyways has not been very hunky dory, and generally it's a slower quarter for most IT companies. So I think because it's Q1 in the US, Europe, etc. So I think largely you can expect a subdued quarter, a subdued outlook. But then what is its impossible impact on the prices? I think the prices have already discounted most of it. So I don't think you will see much of a correction there. Maybe a single day reaction to the numbers and the commentary, but nothing more than that. I think most of the nervousness that is there with respect to US, etc., in terms of the numbers that these companies can report, is largely priced in.
Let's start off with the largest company, TCS. There, it's going to be reporting its numbers tomorrow. It's on a market holiday, and day after is when we will finally see the reaction to this one on growth, on revenues, on margins particularly, and on deal wins. What's your expectation on TCS, sir?
I think across the board, what we have seen is that deal wins usually have been good for these companies over the last 2, 3 quarters. Though in terms of outlook, I think they have always been nervous. I think margin improvement is something that's been missing for quite some time. So might be on the deal win side also this quarter, you might not hear much. But yeah, in terms of numbers, etc., I think it should remain status quo, not much growth. And the outlook they give you for the future might be very subtle.
Especially because of the flat constant currency. How do you expect their international markets also having contributed? There has been this $30 million of a decline in BSNL revenue. That's also marring the overall growth or the performance of the company. We have also seen that the rupee depreciation is unlikely to materially improve the margins thereof. Internal cost pressures also exist. How are you looking at these aspects, sir?
No, I think all this would largely balance out. Most of these issues occasionally balance each other out. Every quarter, it's very difficult to comment on everything and get a balanced approach. But largely, what I think is that they will have problems regarding, the outlook part of it,
Yeah.
not so much on the operational part of it. The BSNL deal or some hiccups here and there, these keep happening in the businesses, especially if you have a PSU business and dealing with PSU, you could have problems there. But largely beyond that, I think most of the order win should be good enough. The international scenario should continue to be good. It's not very hunky dory in terms of the future outlook. But the existing condition is not much more jittery vis-a-vis what it has reported in the earlier quarters. So I don't think it will be too much of a nervous number in terms of what they report this quarter. But as in most cases, it is the future outlook that gets gloomier. So I think if their uncertainty is what they whisper in the board meetings, etc., or the phone calls, I think that is going to create some bit of nervousness. But again, I think most of that is already priced in, so don't expect much.
Okay. Also, sir, on TCS and on the IT sector, the client budgets, pricing trends, project delays, do you believe this could be important to watch out for investors, especially any discretionary spends beyond BFSI also? Will that be able to help us get any sense of whether there will be a recovery sooner than later, or will we have to stay with prolonged muted, earnings growth?
See, I don't think it will result in prolonged muted earning growth, but
Okay.
yeah, from the commentary, what you will understand is that they would also be very nervous about how it is going to transpire because no one is sure that how it is going to hit, the BFSI segment, obviously the manufacturing segment. And most of the largely clients are in the BFSI space, which will get hit if the manufacturing sector takes a hit either in the US or in Europe region or UK. And most of these IT companies are largely dependent on these. So I think that will be a connection. That is why you will hear a lot of nervous energy around these con calls. At least this quarter you should hear because there is a lot of uncertainty. Next quarter onwards, most probably it would settle down. But because of this uncertainty, I think you're not going to see much of damaging price reaction because most of it is already priced.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.